my biggest thing, and I found this when I started working in the film world, and maybe you did too, was trying to explain to people what exactly you do for a living. I know my mom still doesn't know anything about the movie world. So for all the moms out there, when you start a project, what is your role?
Our answers will all be different.
Yes.
I work with 2 other directors. We're all directors and we rotate for each other. The crap that we put ourselves through to make movies, I wouldn't do it for anybody if I didn't love them, because there's not any real reward from it. It really isn't. It's not.
It's so not, painful.
It's
you
not,
really have to.
So basically, like,
should
yeah,
not
you
go
have.
first.
No,
Producing's the worst job ever.
No, and then so we're 3 directors who rotate as producers for each other, and since for 10 years we've been working together, going on 10. And like when one's writing his feature, the other 2 are directing or producing commercials, and we're splitting the money 3 ways. We've been doing that for 10 years. And
will you only produce each other's material?
We produce outside. We produced one for a director named Alistair Banks Griffin, which was something radical. It had like 6 lines of dialogue, an hour and a half. It was based on William Faulkner's LA Dying. It premiered at Cannes in 2010.
So you're basically producing as a collective.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're a filmmaker. It's not rocket science. You should be able to do every job, in my mind.
I agree.
And it's like your job as a producer is to make everybody's job easier. So you're really just fighting for your friends. You should be, because you're hustling. Like, you know, we all make movies for little money, but we're able to shoot on 35 anamorphic and cut traditionally because we're hustling. Like, we're sitting in Kodak for a week waiting for them to talk to us, and they finally do, and then they hook you up. And then if after the first film it does well, then they continue to give you stuff, and then hopefully you get to play with a bigger canvas. It's about arts and crafts with other people's money. You might as well have fun with it.
And do you guys feel like that's your role as a producer? You have your hands in everything? Is that part of the job?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's about you're managing people, time, and money, and it's just at what stage of the movie making process that is. If it's in development, then you know, like, you've spent a certain amount of money to get an option, so a clock starts ticking. So then you just have to manage the people, time, and money in that part. Then pre-production and production and post. Now you hope you have enough time to edit your movie, which is not always the case.
The whole shebang.
I think they're different producers. I think they're bottom-up producers who are kind of, it's more of a creative process, and you want to make movies, and you're like the filmmaker producer, so you learn by fire, in that you've done it all the wrong ways, or, you know, whatever. You've gotten somebody's $5, $10, $500,000, or $1 million, and you kind of figure it out, and you get better as you continue to go. And I think there are producers who are producers where they have the pieces. They know access to talent, they have access to money, they kind of are more the executives. And I think there's probably an argument on who are stronger as producers. I'm a bottom-up producer. I've made a movie for 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million, like, you know. So I think I have a different, I'm probably closer to Josh as far as, you know, the experience is, let's go get some money and make movies with my friends. And that's kind of how I've gotten, you know, where I am. But I do think there are other ways to produce, and I think that at the end of the day, the biggest thing is you're the responsible person. Like, whoever, when you're the producer or the producers, it's your job to get something from a script disseminated to the people in whatever way you do that.
You're servicing the director. I mean,
yeah.
You work for the director on an independent level.
Yeah.
On a studio level, it's very different.
It's very different.
Because you're working in between the studio, you're the buffer between the director and the studio. You just, like, you want to look back and make sure that the director never ever said, I didn't have this, because it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a hustle, and it's like.
But even on an indie level, I mean, I feel like I'm a buffer between the financier and the
I was going to
director.
say, I feel like I have as much responsibility to the financiers who come in for each of our films as I do to the director. And honestly, maybe that's a problem, and it's certainly been an issue on a number of the films that we've done, for sure. But
You guys give a final cut?
we have final cut.
Yes, the director does. Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's
Producers
crazy.
have
producers.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah,
for no money.
But I think it,
They're
again,
not.
it
These aren't for no. I mean, I don't know what you consider no
Like
money.
it's below $5 million.
Okay, no. These are.
Student-
Well, no, they have been below $5 million, and we've still had.
Crazy.
I think you know, it's that finite balance. I think, you know, I feel responsible for the investors, because people invest. It depends. Sometimes people invest in the director. I love this director. I love their work. Here's a $2 million.
Whatever he wants.
Then that's great. But when you're the person who sit in a room and you say, I'm not going to lose your money.
Right.
I'm going to do as best as I can to make sure that this becomes a viable product. and it gets distributed and makes its money back, or as you know, that's a goal, you do feel this burden
to me, that's
of kind of being
essential.
responsible.
You can't legally say that to anybody because it's a high risk investment.
Of course,
so
of course, but you
illegal
still
to say
feel
that.
you still.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
you want everybody to
There's
eat.
definitely the goal that that if you're able to make your money back for your investor, then they'll come back for more.
Right. Exactly.
You certainly, no one wants to burn any kind of
and I think
bridge
women are
or leave
different, by the
anyone
way.
unhappy.
I think
with their
men are more balls
Yeah.
to the wall, kind of like, look, thank you, that's what's up, we're gonna go make this movie. I think women producers have a different slant, I found, than the guys are like.
Is that because of the industry and how they have to work in it?
And I think guys are like Rambo. It's like we have toys and money. Like, let's go. Like,
He just wants to shoot it.
like, we have
Why are we not
toys,
shooting something
we have
right
money.
now?
Well,
All we really need is some tits, and this is great. Let's go have a ball.
Yeah.
And I think
there's also a trick to finding the right director, the right writers to work with, because, you know, kind of going back to what Josh said earlier, you're basically out there killing yourself for nothing tangible.
Right.
You know,
to give someone to like make their
a
dreams
huge
come true.
chance.
You're like you're
a
the
huge
director.
chance, and you
Yeah, but
have
you're
to
also-
know
but
that
it's also
you were
your dreams as well.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
it
you
has
have
to
to
be
know
your
that
dream.
you're putting your effort into someone who is going to really make the most of it.
I think that's a
you
bit of
know.
a difference. I think your situation is like, at least for me, I feel like if the director is like the quarterback and the producer is like the coach. If the team wins, it's because the director did. Oh, it's fantastic. If you lose, it's who produced the. It really is like. At least
But who picked the quarterback at draft time?
True,
You know,
and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, and that as well. So I definitely feel like there's more of the responsibility and less of the glory in the producing role.